Be sure to listen, like, share, and subscribe for all the latest episodes, news, and updates. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at fistfights.friedricepodcast or at H8L.muay thai. On Twitter, follow us at H8L_Fight Talk.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Once again, welcome to H8L Presents Fistfights and Fried Rice. This is episode 2 of the post-show, UFC on ESPN 14, Whittaker versus Till. I am your host, Taz, and joined with me, as always, my hetero soulmate, Uncle McGriddles himself.
Yo, half man, half breakfast sandwich, what's up?
That's what's up, could ask for nothing more. And of course, the Rain Man of martial arts, the encyclopedia of all things combat, the one, the only, Justice Magnificent.
Yo.
How are you guys doing this evening?
Good, man. Just got to watch some good fights.
There were some good fights. This card was actually a lot better than I had thought it was going to be. I was actually ready to shit all over this card, and I'm glad I was wrong.
I'm surprised, man. I thought it was a good card. Like even on paper, it caught me off guard because they did 3 rapid fire shows really quick, and I was like, holy shit! Saturday is Shogun, Nogueira, fucking Gustafsson, Verdum, Whittaker, Till. I was like, I was looking forward to it.
I'm not gonna lie, I was too. I just like shitting on stuff. I was very much excited for this card, man. I think this was a perfect way to end their time on Fight Island.
I saw the main card.
Good enough, because I didn't watch the prelims either. I'll be honest with you.
You didn't watch any of the prelims?
I saw the decision for Betch Carrera, and once I saw Betch Carrera, I completely stopped caring. And at that point, I was like,
To clarify, I had them on, but I was playing video games on another TV, and then I tuned into the fights I wanted to see.
What about yourself, Justice? Did you get the chance to watch all the prelims?
I missed a few. I did watch a couple. I watched the other fighter from Dagestan, Emiv. I watched him fight.
Was he the minus 1200 guy?
Think so. Stolzy, Nicholas.
Yeah, there was. I think there's the same guy.
Yeah, I watched him, and he dominated his fight. I watched the first fight, Nathaniel Wood and Castaneda.
Hobbit fight?
So yeah, Castaneda, they were actually throwing bombs, man. They were going at it. That was actually probably one of the best fights.
No, I did see the Trinaldo and Herbert fight. I did see the main event of the prelims where Francisco Trinaldo completely just, and knocked his ass out with that overhand at 1:30 in the third round.
Yeah, I was hoping Ja Herbert would make some noise.
Oh, he's definitely going to be a force to reckon with. Honestly, he was winning the fight from bell to bell until that one shot. But as we all know in MMA, that's all it takes is that one shot sometimes.
Yeah, and what's his name? Trinaldo missed weight too, right?
Yeah, he was. I think it was 5 or 6 pounds over.
Yeah.
But I was okay with it because he won in devastating fashion, so therefore it was okay by me.
I'm sure Herbert is not saying the same thing.
Well, that's the fight game, and Herbert's just gonna have to understand that when you get knocked the fuck out the way that you did, you really don't have a leg to stand on in terms of whether or not your opponent misses weight. I could say that safely from my house, far away from Jai Herbert. See, from back here, I can say whatever I want, and I'm okay with it. That's the beauty of the fight game. And that's even more beautiful about the long-distance fight game. The farther I am away, the more shit I can talk. Isn't that right, Uncle McGriddles? Uncle McGriddle's shit game is his talk shit game.
That's a credo I live by. Honestly, when Gilbert Burns fights Kamaru Usman, I'll be at my house because I'll be talking so much shit. I don't even want to be around you guys to beat my ass.
Well, let's talk about Khamzat. Was he on the main card? That was the main card.
Yeah, Khamzat was main card.
Yeah, that was the main card. Yeah, that didn't last long.
Well, because Khamzat's a friggin' beast. Was that his second fight in the last, in what, 10 days?
10 days, man. Unscathed, untouched. Listen, 170 pounds, some people need to have their eyes open. It's not going to take long.
Yeah, it's the bearded guy.
The guy who was minus 1,200, I mentioned in the chat earlier, I was like, dude, minus 1,200, this is like matchmaking negligence. And that was the guy, this is the guy we're talking about, because I think I accidentally thought he was somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was savage, dude. Even your love child, Gilbert Burns, said he was pretty savage on the Twitter thing in the bottom left.
And see, and that warmed my heart. When Gilbert Burns gives you praise, that means you're somebody. That tells me right there, Khamzat, definite contender, if not future champ. Calling it now. Calling it now.
Yeah, anybody top 10 should be aware. I'm not gonna say afraid.
No, I'll say it. They should be fucking terrified. Anyone that fights two dudes within 10 days and comes out unscathed, that's a person that you need to fear. Because that dude is coming to just beat the shit out of you.
Yeah, dude, he definitely had that like factor even before. Like I saw the minus 1,200, I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? They think he's just gonna kill somebody, and then you see him pacing around like a caged tiger.
Oh yeah,
before the fucking thing's about to start, you're like, holy shit, dude, you're in for something. I definitely look forward to seeing what that guy has to bring.
Dude, hands down, Khamzat has murder on his fucking mind, man. Like. That is an individual that I think everyone in the welterweight division needs to be absolutely on the lookout for. So I'm calling it now. Future champ.
Reza Madadi, who used to fight in the UFC. Am I saying that right? Reza Madadi.
That sounds good.
Yeah, with the Mohawk Iranian guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's who trains him. Like, yeah.
And we had what? Alex Oliveira? Cowboy Alex Oliveira.
Contender.
Just contender?
I mean, we're talking about 170, right?
Yep.
And we know that there is a god among men walking around at 170.
Gilbert Burns. But Gilbert Burns has already given his stamp of approval for Khamzat. So Gilbert Burns even acknowledges that there's a good chance that their paths may eventually cross.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm all for, I'm a Masvidal fan, but I'm telling you, if that guy wraps his hands around mostly anybody in that division, they're in trouble. It doesn't make a difference.
It only makes a difference if their name is Gilbert Burns.
It might not, because if he's putting on ground and pound. I mean, he's literally like 170 could be. He's putting it on guys and holding them down and beating them. Like, that's.
I think what you really need to be saying is that after the champion, whom will not be named, loses his belt, he is going to have to face individuals like Khamzat in order to ever come close to that title ever again.
Yeah, that champion we were not named.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like in the wind.
That diaper rash. What is that? I'm sorry. What? If you listen faintly, you can almost hear the name of that champion who may not be named. Crotch sniff, smeller of ball, toucher of cups.
Dude, I did want to say, because he broke his nose in that fight, and I wanted to say that maybe he crotch sniffed so hard he broke his own nose.
Jesus.
Time.
You mean the one he stood right in front of, ate it, and just didn't give a fuck? Yeah, I remember that.
All right, moving on to our next fight. We had Cowboy Alex Oliveira taking on Peter Sobata. Another wonderful victory for Cowboy. I mean, I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there. I don't think Oliveira is ever seeing a title shot anytime soon, but I definitely think that he is the gatekeeper to get by if you want to get known in the welterweight division.
I agree
too.
I'm like warming up to Cowboy Oliveira more and more every time I see him. Like, it's like, because obviously the first comparison is to Cowboy Cerrone, or Cerrone, however the fuck they say his name. And And honestly, like I'm starting to like see even more comparisons than just that nickname. It's like, dude, he puts on exciting fights. I like watching Oliveira. He is like a fucking he's a gritty fighter. He you know, finds ways to win, and he's just really skillful. But he has that like same, I don't know. I don't want to say warrior ethic, but like he reminds me of the other cowboy in some ways. But I'm becoming more of a fan of Alvaro.
As you should, because he is fantastic. Like I said, I've been a fan of him since day one. He always brings it in the ring. He never has a boring fight. He is always out there to finish. And I'll be honest with you, anybody, and do me the solid of beating Ill Will Brooks into any type of painful submission or making Ill Will Brooks quit is a person that I will give my hat off to. So, Cowboy, thank you for doing us all a favor and beating the shit out of Ill Will Brooks from Bellator and sending his ass on his way.
Cool. You don't like Will Brooks?
No one likes Will Brooks.
What?
No one. No one likes Will Brooks. There is no one that watches a Will Brooks fight and they're like, you know what? This guy. This is the guy who I came to see. This is the guy who's going to put asses in seats. Once he left Bellator, everyone found out exactly how shit he really was. Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me his career outside of Bellator hasn't been anything but fucking lackluster.
I give you that.
He has been nothing but drizzling dog shit since he left Bellator. And that's actually an insult to drizzle dog shit. Because at least drizzle dog shit has a purpose.
Because they wouldn't sign him back, which was great. Everybody thought it was crazy.
What is it though? Was it crazy?
Looking back on it now, no, because he got cut, and then now supposedly he's going to fight for PFL. So yeah.
Oh, maybe I was wrong. I thought he had already gotten cut by PFL. Okay, cool. Yeah,
he hasn't had a chance to fight in the tournament yet. At least I'm thinking.
This is how much I dislike Will Brooks. That even the idea of him not fighting makes me for him to never compete at anything in life. Will Brooks should just stay at home with the blinds closed and the door closed and the lights off, and that should be his life's purpose.
Wow.
So, Cowboy Oliveira, if you're listening, thank you, sir. Thank you so much for the single-handed beating you put upon Will Brooks. Oh, yeah, and thank you for a very entertaining fight tonight. He won by unanimous decision, 30-27, 30-27, 30-27 on all three scorecards.
Wow.
So you like Will Brooks? Like, seriously?
I mean, I liked him in Bellator. I didn't like him in, the UFC. He was kind of a letdown. I guess what was concerning to me was he trains at ATT, and when he got to the UFC, I think his first fight was Cowboy.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked terrible. I don't know if he was just that terrible, but I thought he would look better than that. I mean, he was known as a wrestler. His hands weren't really that good, but he had nice kicks, and he looked terrible. And we saw nothing of that sort in the UFC in any of his fights, matter of fact.
Yeah, because he peaked. He got to Bellator. That was the highest that his skill set could take him, and that was it. And if you're wondering one of the reasons why I'm going so hard on Will Brooks right now is because that's actually going to bring us into what we're going to discuss on next week's episode of H8L Presents Fistfights and Fried Rice, episode 7. Who is the true number 2 organization outside of the UFC? Is it really Bellator? Because I've tried watching their product the other day, and that shit put me right to sleep.
Yeah, Friday's card was terrible.
Outside of Michael Chandler and Douglas Lima, what do they have? I'm just going to say it. I think that Bellator has started to suck once Coker took over. I may not have been the biggest Bjorn Rebney fan, but at least the tournament format was entertaining. Once Coker took over, it was the same fights week after week, month after month. And under his reign, Bellator has turned to fucking shit. It's turned to an absolute sideshow.
And by the way, I was wrong. Will Brooks is signed with Aries FC.
Even during a pandemic, when people are starved to watch fights, no one wants to watch Will Brooks.
Wow. Deku,
Yep.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother? How you doing this evening, man?
No, I'm doing good. I was just watching the fights, and then I watched the whole post-show thing or whatever. 'Cause I missed some highlights. I missed some fights. I didn't really start looking at the card until the main card.
Oh,
Main
good
one.
deal. Yeah, that's actually what we're going over now. We're just talking main card. We are actually up to I want to say it was the third fight on the main card. That would be Paul Craig defeating, I can't even pronounce this name, Gadzer Humarad Antagulov by submission, triangle choke.
Yeah.
And as much as I hate to admit it, justice called this one. I was pretty confident that the Russian dude was gonna just steamroll through this guy.
Yeah, rule number one: if you're about to get triangle, you're gonna posture up, and this big dummy just drops back down. So you got it locked in. You gonna go to sleep? Hey,
Let me ask you a question,
Well-
Deku. Now that you're on, not to sidetrack, but I was just explaining how episode 7 of Fist Fights and Fried Rice is going to be. Who is the true number 2 organization outside of UFC? Do you agree that it's Bellator, or do you think of more one?
Oh no, it's one, and it's by a landslide now.
Okay. What about you, Uncle McGriddles?
Definitely Bellator. Nobody in America knows who the fuck one is. Bellator has had some gimmick fights and stuff. I mean, but to be fair, I am half breakfast sandwich, half man. I don't really know what the fuck is going on in one, but from the casual fan's perspective, Bellator for sure, dude. Like they've had the gimmick fights. I think like Ken Shamrock or some shit's been in there, but nobody knows who the fuck one is all about.
Oh man, I am gonna enjoy this episode. Justice, what about yourself, man? If you don't mind me asking, who do you think the true number 2 is?
well, I mean, if I were just an average American, I would say Bellator, but since I'm not, and I understand, combat sports, obviously it's ONE FC. 'Cause ONE FC reaches all of Asia pretty much.
Yeah,
We're larger than Bellator altogether. Bellator kickboxing, the kickboxing scene, that's enough to get fighters from Europe, especially kickboxing, Muay Thai. They're gonna want to go to one. They're not gonna want to go to Bellator. They can't get to the UFC.
All right, well, I just wanted to pick your brains on that because, like I said, that's definitely going to be our topic for the next episode. Is who is the true number 2? I can't wait to dig deeper in that. But in regards back to our post show, yeah, that dude Paul Craig, I was impressed. I figured Antagulov was going to be more aggressive. He was going to be the stronger fighter. I thought he was just going to power his way through, and I thought he was going to just completely overpower Craig. I was shocked that he held true to that submission and ate God knows how many shots on the ground before he just locked it in.
Well, I was not impressed. I just thought that Antagulov was just a big dumbass for not posturing up out of the damn triangle. I mean, I'm gonna say the same thing about another fighter later on.
Okay, fair enough.
If you're grappling, basics, white belt, level 1 submission wrestling, get out of triangle, posture up. No reason he should have got caught in that. No reason at all.
That's
Just no
fair.
excuse.
Okay. I'm going to go into the next fight on the card, the travesty that was the women's strawweight bout. Carla Cookie fucking Monster Esparza defeating Marina Rodriguez in a bullshit fight because I thought Marina whooped her ass everywhere.
Yeah, she busted her up, but I mean,
Now I'll give Carla her credit. She won because of the takedowns. In my opinion, she won because of the takedowns.
Her wrestling.
Yeah, her wrestling.
Put her over. That's about it.
That's literally it. She's another one that I see never holding UFC gold ever again, but I think she'll be a good gatekeeper for the strawweight division.
Yeah, that makes sense. The strawweight division is not really too hot.
It's not really too hot, but it's full of murderers that could all beat her ass.
Exactly. Like, you got her, and then you got the top 3 or top 4, like, that would just beat each other up, but of course no one is beating the champion that I see. I don't see it happening. no time. So like years from now. I think I figured if whatchamacallit gets a shot at her Rose, she might become the closest.
So let me
Yeah.
ask you guys this, especially you, Uncle McGriddles, because I know how in depth and in tune and ingrained you are in women's MMA.
I was literally about to say, like, dude, if he asked me what I thought about that fight, I'd be like, dude, I was playing video games. I wasn't even watching that fight.
Well,
A lot of that bullshit.
from what I know of McGriddles, he loves women's MMA. McGriddles cannot wait until there is just a straight up women's MMA card where every fight just features women. And McGriddles will tune in. Oh, man.
There was, dude. Remember you tried to turn on my house and I, like, made you not do it?
Yeah, I've known McGriddles for years, folks, and we're hanging out at his house, and I decide, you know what? McGriddles has allowed me to have control of the television, which never happens. So I think we're playing around like the UFC Fight Pass app or some shit, and I was like, oh, Invicta's on here. I just wanted to see what McGriddles would do. We got maybe 4 minutes into Invicta, and he was like, hey, man, I'm either going to need you to cut this off or leave, because...
Yeah. Dude, like, high-level women's MMA, like, I don't even want to get into it, dude. Like, top 5 in your division, I can look at it, watch it. Some of them are very good, but a lot of it's just trash. And it's not just because they're women, dude. I say the same thing about, like, the lumbering heavyweights. There's like this certain class of heavyweights that are like a fucking extra in a Jason Statham prison movie, and they just suck, dude. They lumber around. You couldn't. And like, dude, I hate that as well. So it's not that I hate women's MMA. I hate trash. And I will, if it's big lumbering heavyweight dudes, I'll fucking call it trash too. So I am not a whatever the fuck is not kosher for 2020.
All right, so I'll go ahead and ask you this then, since you're not a woman hater. What do you think is next for Carla Esparza, the Cookie Monster?
Dude, I am the literal. I was playing video games when she was fighting. I don't even know who that is. What's next for Carla Esparza is getting like enough wins where I'm like, okay, she's legit, and I should pay attention to what she's doing. But like, you're not at like the championship level.
What? You know she was the first champion, right?
No, he doesn't.
Playing video games
Wow.
when she fights.
No, he doesn't.
Wow.
Yeah, she was the first champion when I was like playing Halo.
Wow.
I mean, she just I don't know how she won that season. I mean,
Well,
her wrestling obviously, but it took one time, and Joanna was like, "I got these combos for your ass."
And you want to beat the brakes off her.
Dude, what? It's like, this was a champion? No way. First champion? Okay, that makes sense.
you know what I'll say about that season?
That was trash.
Very.
Yeah, the tryouts for it though. The tryouts. Well, no, that wasn't that season. I don't think it was.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're really reaching if you can think of anything.
Yeah.
No, because I was
positive.
I was thinking about the season where oh man, what's the boxer name? The last guy that fought Andre Berto. His sister had tried out for EUF and she ended up gassing. Like, she was dominating that girl. She ended up gassing like the last round and got submitted.
It happens, man. And we got Fabricio Verdum versus Alexander Gustafsson. Verdum won this fight by submission via armbar in the first round. I thought Verdum looked great.
Oh yeah, he might be back.
Now, I thought I had read or heard somewhere where he was this was the last fight on his UFC contract, and he was looking to fight out of it and potentially go somewhere else. You guys think he's gonna maybe follow through with that, or you guys think now that he's got this particular win under his belt that maybe he might stick around? Because I would like to see him try it elsewhere.
I think what he might whatever money he's getting right now, he's probably gonna ask for not just more, but a lot more, and they not gonna give it to him, and he's gonna go somewhere else. If they do give him money or his demands or whatever, he gonna stay. But if they don't, he gone.
I don't think they'll give him the money if he asks for it. I think he's better off, honestly, just going somewhere else. I mean, he's already won the UFC title. There's really there's no higher award achievement you can win in MMA other than just to pull a Mighty Mouse and just start collecting belts and just be a champion everywhere you go. Much like Eddie Alvarez, who is coming for that ONE FC gold, and he's gonna get it.
UTBABYA, what's up?
What's up, brother?
How's it going?
Jalen, we were just talking about Verdum and Gustafsson and the armbar submission in the first round, and I was simply saying that I think that Verdum, since he's going to fight out of his, or potentially fighting out of his contract, I think he should try somewhere else, maybe like a ONE FC or potentially a Bellator.
I would like to see people start going to bigger names start going to other federations. I would really enjoy seeing just seeing fighters be able to get paid more.
Was that even a financial success, that Reebok shit? Because I don't see anybody walking around with one of those Reebok kits.
Nope, I don't believe so. I think it was pretty much I've never seen a Reebok kit ever in person. So they're not good designs. They're not. No one wants to wear them.
Now, I will say in regards to this fight between Verdum and Gustafsson, I would say for Gustafsson coming out of retirement, I actually thought he looked fantastic for about the first minute of this fight.
Yeah.
He was
light on. Who popping that jab. Man. Like, he looked like old Gustafsson when he was running through people. I was like, okay.
Yeah, especially for a guy who said, I'm forgetting what his exact wording was, but it was essentially like he was having doubts about whether he wanted to keep fighting. Mm-hmm. And like if that's in your mind, then you've already got a foot out the door. So
Rain Man, anything you'd like to add to that?
Well, it was just, I thought I'm opposite of everyone. I thought Verdum looked slow.
Really?
I didn't think he could keep up with Gustafsson. I didn't think he looked great at all. Gustafsson did look good, but like, I'm really. Again, I can sit behind this computer all day. I can train a couple days out of the week, and type on my keyboard.
Yeah,
but
great.
I'm really starting to question like the legitimacy of some of these guys training when they're as professionals, because it's like it's basic stuff, and they're getting caught with basic jiu-jitsu stuff. Grappling, and it's just amazing how and we're doing. Once he went to the ground, he didn't break a sweat. It was easy.
I mean,
no fight, nothing to. He made it look so easy, like just flowing, just smooth. Granted, he is second degree black belt, ADCC champion. I get it, but as a mixed martial artist, a UFC fighter, it's no excuse to get caught. These guys are just getting black belt after black belt after black belt, but then you start to see them getting tapped out. Previous example, when Ben Henderson fought Anthony Pettis for the UFC belt. Ben Henderson just got promoted to black belt. Just got promoted, goes into that fight, gets armbarred. Simple armbar. Sure, black belt. By a guy who's not even a black belt.
You were definitely feeling some kind of way about that.
No, I like grappling. I do, but it's just I see a lot of guys, man, and it's just like stand up, yeah, let me bang, bro, and then when you hit the ground, it's like I'm gonna turtle up like a little girl and shoot my legs up in the air and sit back like a turtle in a shell, and that's just my opinion. I'm gonna get off my soapbox now. I'm done.
Yeah, I can't really disagree with it.
Ryan Hall. Why this guy can't get a fight? Because
he's a legit black belt.
Yeah. And he's tearing guys' knees up left and right because they don't know what to do.
That's true.
Because they're not trained. They're going in the gym. They're kickboxing. They're sparring. They're conditioning. No submissions.
Because, we talk about it all the time in the gym, how there's black belts and then there's black belts. There are those that have earned the black belt, and there are those who have just been awarded one. And I do agree with you that I think that is the problem now, is that too many cats are just being awarded belts for, as opposed to doing what, you know, the Ryan Halls and the BJ Penns of the world did and dedicate a good decade or more to the art and to the craft. And we see it all the time.
Mine online.
I mean, hey, some people do. Now, don't get me wrong. That shit, what was it, last week where that girl was putting the calf slicer and then knee barred that bitch to death to get out of it? Yeah, I had never seen that before in my life, but that was amazing.
Yeah.
But you could tell she had definitely put in the work to know how to get out of that.
Yeah. It's the same thing the Carla Esparza fight. That young girl, I mean, she was good, don't get me wrong. Stand-up wise.
Mm-hmm.
On the ground, she had a guard, but again, jiu-jitsu is just more than just submissions. It's the transitions, it's the scrambling, all the little small details like that. It seems like they are missing. They're just kind of laying there, just looking around. Like, come on.
Next up, we have Mauricio Rua and Antonio Rogero Nogueira. Shogun won. Yeah, he won by split decision. What do you guys think of this fight?
I was glad to see that both of them were able to protect themselves at all times. Their first fight was 15 years ago. Their second fight was 5 years ago. Yeah, I was happy to see that they give a pretty decent fight. I mean, they had both slowed down quite a bit.
I thought the split decision was bullshit, dude. I thought Shogun clearly won, dude.
Yeah.
Split decision for Shogun.
Yeah, they're being nice.
Like one of the things I noticed off the bat, which I mentioned in chat, like Shogun landed these kicks on his lead leg, and they just like it was weird. It wasn't like he was like viciously doing them. He just like did a leg kick and like it hurt more. It's like, dude, what is wrong with your leg, bro? It was weird, and he landed that a few times, and I think that swayed judges' minds because like you could see him kick his leg, and it was like a big impact. It was weird, but yeah, dude, it's like I wish both of them did more of a gatekeeping fight and fought up and comers. Like, I understand that they have a legacy together, and you know they're pride vets, and they're badass. And so I understand that Nogueira would want his last fight to be with Shogun. But personally, it's like, dude, when Nogueira fights Shogun, like at the end of the day, like does it really fucking matter? Like it matters more if they fight like a up and comer and assume that gatekeeping role. But at the same time, I completely understand why that fight was made. And if that's Nogueira's last fight, you know that's a fucking awesome career. He's been around for a minute and he's had some good fights. So
I have to humbly, completely disagree. I hope these two never fight anyone ever again. I enjoyed watching these two fight over the years, but man, yeah, they both showed that they can still throw a punch. Yeah, they both showed that they can still throw a punch, and that's all they showed. To me, uneventful.
It was pride.
You know what? This fight would have made more sense for me and would have had more meaning and more of an impact if by chance these two ran it back for a third and final time in Japan, where the first fight happened. This would have made a little bit more impact, would have been a little bit more meaningful for me because they took it back to where it all began. I don't know. I thought nothing was accomplished, nothing was achieved.
Weird, it was the co-main event.
Yeah. If this had maybe been like how you start the card, I probably wouldn't have been so hard on it. But for you to make this the co-main event, I thought that was kind of bad placement for the card. And maybe that's where my frustration for this particular fight is coming from. Because this was not a co-main event fight at all.
So, in my opinion, just the same. Both need to retire.
Yes.
Sauce has wore off on both. It was just one of those fights. Now, as far as being a co-main event, I see why. Basically, just because most of the fighters on this card tonight were English or Russian. No, they fought Cage Warriors and other events, as Dan Hardy was saying.
Mm-hmm.
Don't really have a lot of no big names. That was they were the only two, so it had to be them.
Are they really big names now, though?
I mean, not really. To the hardcore fan, yeah, but to the
like seriously,
the casual
when's
fan,
the last
not
time?
really.
When's the last time someone was clamoring for some Nogueira?
Hey, you got Uncle Dana needs his money for his fight, so you got to fight out this last fight out this contract.
It just, I guess, in a way, it just kind of broke my heart to see both of these guys go out like that.
I mean, I preferred it like this. Didn't want to see either one of them run up against some newcomer and just get knocked the fuck out or something like that.
Moving on to our main event, Robert Whittaker defeating Darren Till by unanimous decision. What do you guys think about this fight? I'm just glad that Whittaker didn't get knocked the fuck out, because him running into that elbow in the first round was frightening.
That was touch and go for a minute there.
I'm a big Whittaker fan, but I feel like that kid can be real careless at times. A more skilled or a more seasoned fighter pulls that counter, Whittaker's not getting back up.
See, that's where I was like, Darren Till's experience still not there yet. He's still young. He had no idea what to do with that.
To his credit, though, at least he had the wherewithal to throw it.
Until, and again, as I was saying while I was watching the fights, he goes in a straight line and he throws that right from the hip, which is good. But when he used the angle, it was clear he could tag Whittaker when he wanted. He wants to fight Izzy, Paulo Costa. You can't fight those guys doing stuff like that.
I think he showed really improved head movement. His slips, his rolls, his evasive boxing was fucking flawless. I mean, he avoided every head kick that Whittaker threw with absolute ease.
I thought Whittaker looked really sharp, dude. I thought the whole thing was like really competitive. I mean, I think Whittaker ended up running away with it, but it didn't give me the impression that like Darren Till could never beat him. Like it was competitive enough where I was like, if Darren Till gets another couple fights and comes back and fights Whittaker, that could still seriously be interesting. One thing I really liked about Whittaker, which it looked like he set it up all the time, which a lot of guys do, but he kept throwing this overhand right over and over again. And then I would see him like do kind of different things with it. It's like he would throw the overhand and set up maybe a body shot, or maybe he would set up a takedown. But like that was like his bread and butter, and I felt like the other guy just couldn't really fucking deal with it. But yeah, man, I thought it was a great fight. I look forward to seeing both of them.
Agreed. I definitely think the sky is the limit for Darren Till. I really do. And again, I'll call it now, future champ. Now, let me clear the air on that. I don't think he gets past Costa, and I don't think he gets past Israel.
And when Usman comes up, obviously he's going to beat him.
Oh, here we go. Oh, my God.
Wow.
If Usman comes up, Darren Till's going to have to watch his crotch, because Usman's coming for it. Nose deep.
He'll break his nose right in there.
Oh, worst fucking welterweight champion in history.
Either way, Well, Woodley didn't even take Till down. Till got knocked down, so it's a little bit different. I don't think anybody's taking Till down, but that style of him rushing in like that again, some said he lost that first fight to Yoel Romero, which it was close, but that he got caught like that because they kind of fight the same way.
Yeah.
And again, he got knocked into the nether realm twice by Izzy in that fight. It's just an experienced striker is going to catch him.
Mm-hmm.
Until he doesn't have it. And I think Till learned that, the big boys at 185, that top five, them guys are a different league than even just Kevin Gaston. Those guys are tough, rugged, and they go for it.
All in all, I thought it was a good card, man. I thought that was a good way to end their time on Fight Island. And honestly, if this is what the UFC has in store for us, for, cards in the near future moving forward, I'm all in.
Dude, my question, was that Fight Island thing an open air arena? I couldn't figure that out.
No.
Like all the promo shit.
That was just for the promos. It would have been dope for them to actually to do that right there on the open beach. At least, I think it'd be entertaining to watch. I think it'd be hell for the fighters as you're sweating profusely all over that slick canvas.
It'd be like 100 fucking million degrees.
Be sure to listen, like, share, and subscribe for all the latest episodes, news, and updates. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram at fistfights.friedricepodcast or at H8L.muay thai. On Twitter, follow us at H8L_Fight Talk. Well, gentlemen, that was all I had for our UFC Fight Night Episode 2 post show.
Peace, guys.
Later.
I know you're gonna dig this.